Alright, so this is Nightmares and Daydreams, and this is the episode where it's 4 days before the big attack, and it's pretty much just them resting before the big attack, and Aang feeling this incredible pressure beforehand and getting really stressed out, having these nightmares sort of some funny nightmares actually of him facing the Fire Lord, but he doesn't have pants, or it turns out he didn't study for the math test, like stuff that obviously doesn't connect, but he's suddenly like, oh no! And it's him trying to deal with his stress and his pressure, and everyone else trying to help him out with it. And on top of that, you have Zuko, who's finally invited back to the war meeting, and he's not sure how to feel about that. Well, at first he doesn't even think he's invited, but then it turns out like he actually has like a seat next to his father, and his father is very, very welcoming. Like they won't even start the meeting until he shows up. So yeah, so all that stuff is going on, and let me say that I really identify with this episode with Aang, because anytime there's a big shoot coming up, like I gotta do like a Suburban Nights or Double Leaf Flea, or even if I know a shoot is probably gonna be easy, I still get like, I get these dreams sometimes, and I understand this pressure. In fact, when it actually came to them saying like, oh, we're 4 days ahead of schedule, Aang. And he's like, 4 days? You mean it's 4 days until the attack? I gotta train. It's like, I felt it, man. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got 4 days. Come on, be ready. Make sure you're not gonna screw up. Make sure not any of this stuff is gonna happen. So it's like, I really felt the pressure, and I thought they got it really good. Just sort of that anxiety you can get before going into something big, before something that so many people rely on you on is about to take place. So I thought they captured that really well, but also captured the comedy of it too. All the various ways they're trying to calm him down, even to a point where Aang decides he's not going to sleep anymore. There's a few fake outs that are pretty funny. The bit where Aang kisses Katara and says that he loves her, but it turns out it's all in his head. The reason that really works is the kid's delivery, which at first I thought, oh my god, is this like the big I love you scene, and this is how the kid is doing it? Really? You know, like he's a zombie or something, and then you realize, oh, that it was all in his head. That's why he was saying it as a zombie, and that scene is now hilarious because of it. Some good jokes in this one too. I roared with laughter when they're all telling him he needs sleep, and then Appa tells him he needs sleep too. That's another one of those I had to rewind and see it again. I mean, that just destroyed me. And, you know, what a great twist that would have been if it turns out Momo could talk this whole time. I mean, what a fucking twist that would be. I was actually kind of disappointed they didn't. Like I said, that's just one of the lesser characters in my opinion. It's like, wouldn't he become just infinitely fascinating if it turns out this whole time he could talk and he was keeping silent? So, yeah, the comedy is good in it. Like I said, I think they capture the anxiety and the pressure really well. In the dream sequence, I think they're making fun of other animes, or sort of paying homage to other animes. Am I right? It looks like the first one might be Dragon Ball, and then the second might be Naruto, and the last one I have no clue. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not huge into anime, but I think that's what they were going for. Which is fine. I'm sure it's like an homage or something like that. I don't think it was like a mean-spirited, yeah, take this. So, if that's even what they're doing, I'm not sure. It looks like they were directly targeting something, but I'm not entirely sure that's what it is. I think the only... I mean, it's kind of a major problem, and it's a decent enough episode, but I was sort of watching this, and again, I'm saying, wow, they're getting this really good, how he's trying to calm down, but he can't. If anything, he feels he has to try harder, and because he's still having nightmares, he feels he's not good enough, so he has to try harder and harder, and that at the very end, he just needed the support of his friends. You know, it's fair enough, nice enough, but somewhere like in the third act, it sort of just gives up doing anything and just shows the dream. It's like that one god-awful episode of The Sopranos years ago where I think about halfway through, or again, maybe at the beginning of the third act, it was just, hey, here's his dream, and nothing else, and there's no real insight anymore, and there's no connection to plot, and there's not really even that much character. It's just zaniness, it's just surrealism, and for a guy who loves that stuff, for a guy who loves, big dedicated moments and, scenes like the pink elephants from Dumbo, I love these scenes. This didn't grab me. I thought it was just so not connecting to anything and just being goofy for the sake of being goofy, and maybe that's fine for some people. Maybe it's like, hey, we just needed a goofy episode, we just needed something really silly. This seems very much like those anime episodes where they do go all out goofy and all out strange and weird. Those don't grab me that much, and it's not the whole episode. Like I said, it's only like the last third, and even then it does come back at the very end to the story. But I was saying to myself, oh boy, couldn't they have, there's so much going on in this show, couldn't they develop a little something else in this time? Like, couldn't they show maybe a little bit more of Zuko, or even Zuko, it seems like 3 episodes ago, we know what his thing is. We know that, hey, he thought he was going to have his honor restored and feel good, and he doesn't. Why? Because he didn't do the right thing. And granted, it takes time to come around to that, but can we speed it up a touch? And not to say the scenes didn't work. You see him go to the meeting. Well, actually, the meeting is kept off screen. I thought that was a smart choice. But he comes out, he looks at the picture, and May is there, and she says, haha, well, isn't this exactly what you wanted? Isn't this all you ever wanted? He's like, it should be, and yeah, we know. We got it. We got this like 3 episodes ago. So, but anything sort of emphasizing that he's going to either turn or that his life should be perfect and it's not, or what am I looking for? Anything that emphasizes that he kind of should be feeling love, or he feels he should be feeling love and isn't, it is not bad, but like I said, we could either look at it from a little bit more of a different angle or speed it up a touch, because like I said, you know where it's gonna go. As soon as they say yes, they're gonna have the meeting with you, you know exactly how it's gonna end. Or when he's giving that big speech at the beach, when he's like, I'm not angry with my father, I'm not angry with you or anyone else, then who are you angry with? We all know he's gonna say myself! So, again, it's not bad. Nothing in there was like, oh geez, come on. But I am saying to myself, yeah, let's kind of get this rolling here. I was really shocked to see that, like, the next episode is the attack. God, the thing they're trying to get to in each of these seasons doesn't happen till usually like the last 5 or 6 episodes. And here it's like, I think I'm on disc 2. And it's already like the thing they were looking to get to. So again, like that's a good surprise. I didn't know we would get here this early, and then you say to yourself, well, that's not the big ending. What is the big ending? Well, what else is going to happen here? That's where the real fun of the story is not knowing where it's going to turn, because obviously something has to go wrong then during the attack, and what is that going to result in, and what that's going to keep you coming back. So I'm looking forward to that. As for this episode, there's definitely a lot of elements I really enjoyed about it. When it just turned into the silly dream and nothing else, it was a little rough for me. I'm just saying, come on, substance, give me substance. You're so good at that show. But I know there's a lot of people that like this goofiness just for the sake of being goofy and it going all out silly. Like, even the animation style gets really, really silly. So if that's your thing, great. There's no like great offense in this or anything. I just felt I could have had more connection with the characters and stuff. But Yeah, there it is. When they did capture the pressure and the stress, I thought they captured it very well, and in a funny way. So, I definitely like this episode. So, that's it for this one. Boy, the big attack is the next episode. I'm curious to see how it all gets fucked up. So, or maybe it goes well, and then the next episodes are just them living happily ever after. Wouldn't that be strange? So, yeah, I look forward to seeing that one, and I will see you there as well.